Hello and welcome to Beyond the Screen Pioneering AI Dubbing in Cinema. We will talk today about dubbing. Most of you will know about dubbing. You're used to work with it. And so my name is Herman Del Campo from the company Zaibr Innovations. We are used to work in the media field. We have different technologies we built on, mostly in the media field, about synthetic voice generation. I successfully skipped the media tech studies, and afterwards we started in freelancing developing, and I went as AI developer since 2014. On 2017, we did our first approach to do some speech-to-speech solution, but we didn't have our own solution at that time. So we worked on existing text-to-speech models like Amazon Polly or Google text-to-speech generator. It didn't sound very well. 2017 Alexa voice quality, it isn't the best you can use for real dubbing. So afterwards we saw we need to have something own. We need to be able to generate voices and audio by our own. So we started developing our own solution, or I first started to develop the solution. And during my time as head of research in a film production company based in Germany, I got many insights about production, on the post-production, how dubbing works, how the generating of voiceover is working, the differences between audio, Foley's, and everything. So I went through all stages in the audio media process in the film production, and it was very much learning, which helped to get deeper and better into the field of dubbing. So I founded 2020 Zaibr Innovation, and so we're going to AI for dubbing, or AI dubbing itself. Just first of all, everything what you say about AI doesn't exist right now. Most will know it probably, but just to put it on point, AI is meaning an general AI, which has intelligence to think like a human. This technology type isn't existing yet, and there's just some small research labs which try to focus out what is existing. Everything what we see here, which has the label AI, is just machine learning. Machines intending to think like human or having processes like human will do. And you have so many AI technologies existing, from large language models, Gen AI, image generation, object detection. Won't go deeper through it, that you just see AI or machine learning is not only about prompting. It's not that you just put some text there and you get the AI doing magic. AI is way more. And I can just tell you, if you're interested later on the slides, you can just contact me and I can send them to you. For example, if you want to have something in transcription or in the text generation field, you need first of all to have thousands of hours of audio content, and you need to prepare it. Like you see there, we have now a spectrogram, a MEL spectrogram, which is showing the audio of the phrase, "This is a big red apple." You now need to have audio files which contains the audio, "This is a big red apple," and containing a text file with the characters, "This is a big red apple." So the machine does understand, when I have here now this different voices and this spectrogram, it's analyzing it and it gets the conversions to phonemes. So the acoustic sounds of the different letters. For example, the THE. It's not that the machine understands each character. It's checking the spectrogram and detecting the phoneme sound of the, and it's generating this image to understand what is really needed to understand the audio itself and convert it into text. So if you have text to speech, this is very easy to be explained. I will go now in the beginning from text to speech, because this is the first stage to speech and AI dubbing. You input text, the machine is using an analyzer to use this text. This is the big red apple, split it into the phonemic sounds, generating an image out of it, because for machines, there is no hearing. Machine learning with audio is just image manipulation and image detecting. So it generates a spectrogram. It converts the phonemes to the spectrogram, and after it's rendering the complete spectrogram and reshaping it, so don't have pixel fragments, so don't have this digital sounding effects, from old school synthetic voices, which has like robot-like voice. And after having went through the acoustic model into the vocoder, it's shaping everything, so you get an export as an audio file. This is text-to-speech from all existing solutions you see out there. This is the basic, very wrapped up down to the I try to explain it as easy as possible. When we have speech-to-speech, it's nearly the same, just we put in front different other technologies and solutions. Like, first of all, we don't upload text, we upload now audio. The audio will be transcribed. After we transcribe the audio, we again want to translate it into a different language. And we translate it, split the translation into different phonemes, and having the same process itself. So text-to-speech and speech-to-speech have many in common, and speech-to-speech is based on text-to-speech. And if you have one learning out of the pioneering, if you go into AI dubbing, you're working on images, not audio. It's very, very hard to understand at the beginning if you're developing that it's not about hearing, it's more about understanding that the images, the spectrogram you are now manipulating or you're detecting is different than working on an audio manipulation like you are using Audition. So you need to understand that you need to use this visualization form, because this is the way the machine is doing it. And you need to start to interpret these images. People in the audio field, they can directly read, in this audiogram, in this spectrum, you see here a spoken word, here you see music, because they learned how these images are looking like, how the audio curves and the audio waves are aligned. And this is something what we developer have no clue about. We mostly see just some coding. We put something in, we got some results. Yeah, it's working or it's not working. And this is something which it's very hard to understand. One golden rule, like for everything in AI, is quality is key. There are so many developers, so many platforms and companies which got thousands of scrapings of the internet. They just scrape audiobooks, YouTube and else. They have a very bad quality. They just transcribe it and they put it in the machine and say, yeah, we have some synthetic voice engine. We can now convert text to speech. The quality will not be so good because you got bad input. If you have fragments who are missing about the complete volumetric wave of the speech, it is missing also in the generation. So if you, for example, work just with MP3 files, everything non-hearing will be cut up and down. So there is something missing for the AI. It can try to re-render it, but the more data you get, the more qualified data you get, the better the results will be in machine learning. If you have high quality recording from, for example, from a dubbing studio, voice recording studio, you can have 1 hour of recording, which replaces 10 hours of bad audio recording. So it's absolutely important to have high quality in the data set. Forgot. Also, if you have high quality, you need to make a QC on the data set, because also if everything is recorded, you need to check the alignment of transcription to the audio if all the parts are really included. If something is missing, you're putting corrupt files or files which can damage the audio model itself, which if you do it with many data, will occur a very bad result afterwards in the model. If you're having a lot of data, your data set need to have a diversity, because you need to have different voices, a different voice catalog. For example, if I want to create a voice model for my voice, it is okay to just record my audio. But if I want to have a voice, a general text-to-speech model, where I want to have different voices, different tonalities, different way of speaking, I need to have a huge amount of data with the diversity of the data. I need to have deep voices, high voices, female, male. We need to have a complete stack of data set which has a good balance. The more different voices, the better. Here also again, dataset QC is mandatory that you balance the data. And if you don't do it, you will have problems in doing voice cloning. What is voice cloning? I take just one audio sample as a reference, and I take the sample rate, and I manipulate my existing model to the audio, and I try to generate an audio with the same sample rate. This is what happens on the voice cloning. So if you want to have a high voice and you clone it, you need to hold also in your data set for sure data which has high or female voices to be able to manipulate the audio and get a voice clone of this high voice. Otherwise, you will have problems and you get cracks in the voice. This is like if you try to pitch the data too much, it gets very annoying, or it feels wrong. Dynamics is easier than emotions. This is something what we had to learn because we got the request from customers. We want emotions. Please put emotions in the data set that we are able to generate ironics, that we are able to put laughter into the voice. It should be sad. And this is what we should all cover. But dynamics is way easier than putting emotions into it, because emotion is also a cultural thing. Understanding the emotions for one culture is completely different than for the other, and we have no 100% measurement how sad is really, how the emotion sad looks like, sounds like. You can identify it in your culture, and you got some amount, but you need to do everything step by step, and you need to create a model which detects this emotion, and you need to label it. So what I have shown in the beginning, you need to show data sets and label everything. This phrase now is sad. This phrase is now happy. And if you don't do it, you won't get this emotion. What is way easier is to just clone the dynamics. If you have, for example, an audio file where he starts to whisper and getting louder and louder and louder, you will see in the audio a difference between a normal speech. And this is what we can replicate. We can see the audio in the spectrogram and say we want to have an audio which looks similar to this spectrogram and copy it with this sample rate my voice have. The most important part for you is without human, AI dubbing turns out very poorly. I would not recommend it because it seems false, artificial. It tries to be perfect, but our imperfection in the voice and the talking is the thing which makes the dubbing so good, depending on the screen, what you're seeing. So if you're having some voice cracks, if you're getting a bit too low in the volume, this is something which makes it imperfect, which sound for us natural. So without voice actors, it will not work in high quality. So what we recommend, if we work with voice solutions, that you base your AI dubbings on existing dubbings. For example, you're working on an animation. You want to have, for example, an anime. This anime will be in, for example, core language is Japanese. You're dubbing it. Nevertheless, for example, in German, because I'm from Germany, and the dubbing studio says, well, we have now our dubbed version in German, and we now want to put it in other languages we normally would not support because there's no budget for it. Complete Eastern Europe has only voiceover. There's one person making a voiceover for 30 characters and speaking directly over on top of the English voice. It's for us in Germany, it's really annoying because we're not used to. So if you use dubbing from an existing model, we can replicate the audio lines, the channels, and get the same dynamics, clone the voices in a different language. And if you're working with AI, it should be AI working with the industry, not to disrupt it, because it will not work. Just to be honest, first of all, voice acting is an art. It is nothing you can just do by yourself. Otherwise, I would be a voice actor for some movies. And it is something you need to do step by step. You need to have it user-driven and for the industry working into the workflows and adapt it into your easy ways. Otherwise, you will fail and you will not be able to maintain it over a longer time. I brought some samples. These samples are from our partner, which is working with us, TNT Media. This is a dubbing studio which works for Crunchyroll, making animations or anime. And we brought some samples that will show you once the German version, which is the dubbing.
Wie kannst du nur mitten in einem Kampf träumen?
Entschuldige, wie lange habe ich geschlafen?
Was? Du hast geschlafen? Deine Augen waren nur für ein paar Sekunden zu, mehr nicht.
Du Idiot, du bist voll bescheuert!
Da haben wir den Beweis. Du bist die echte Shana.
Sag mal, bist du immer noch am Träumen? Auch wenn es nur ein schwacher Tomogara ist, musst du wachsam bleiben. Immerhin trägst du einen Zauber in dir, das weißt du doch.
Ein schwacher Tomogara?
Hallo und willkommen zurück. Das war ein kurzweiliger Traum, ha?
Ich bin ja fast beeindruckt, dass jemand so schwach ist wie du sich traut, mir entgegenzutreten.
Ganz wie du meinst. Aber du musst wissen, dass es etwas gibt, das ich unbedingt erreichen muss. Tomogara leben einzig und allein für ihre Wünsche und Begierden. Hast du das nicht gewusst?
This is just to give you a small understanding of the dubbing they created. This is classic quality you got from the anime studio there. They are doing very good quality and they work hard on it with the voice actors. And what we did is not 100% there. You can just say it's nothing what you will directly now put live onto the platform because it's a pioneering work. We are on it. It takes a bit time, and this is the English version now. We created completely automatically.
How can you dream in the middle of a
Excuse
fight?
me, how long have I been asleep?
You were sleeping. Your eyes were closed for just a few seconds. Nothing more.
You idiot, you're totally crazy!
So there we have the proof! You are the real Shana!
Tell me, are you still dreaming? Even if it's just a weak Tomogara, you have to stay alert. After all, you carry a magic in you. You know that.
Weak Tomogara.
Hello and welcome back. That was quite a short dream, wasn't it? I'm almost impressed that someone as weak as you dares to face me. Just as you think. But you must know that there is something I absolutely have to achieve. Tomogara live solely for their desires and cravings. Didn't you know that?
And if you're good in English, you will hear it's not from sounding from 100% native. You would hear some voice parts which seems to be from a non-native speaker. This is because we took over the German part and we moved it to English because we didn't have so much learning time on that model. Furthermore, we created the voice clonings, which are right now between 85 to 90% on the sample rate similarity. But we had just 1 minute, so the more episode time we have, the more we can have a similar voice in the voice cloning of the dubbing. Right now we just had 1-minute sample from this, and we're going now step by step deeper into that format. We have also one German part for a real movie. I will just now show only the English version because I just ran out of time.
I want to ask you a question. If she had a heart attack or breast cancer, then the insurance would pay, right? And if her liver looked like Dean Martin's, what would you say? Maybe they'll send someone
A bottle of martini? It's a disease, a real disease, a mental disorder.
it's not.
They diagnosed her with schizophrenia.
Why do you
Physical,
say that?
psychological, what's the difference? Just explain it, then tell me why.
That's
No,
why.
please explain to me why. Why isn't your illness recognized by health
How many times
insurance?
do I have to say it? I am fine. I don't need any medication.
we're not
Why do you say I
talking
need
about
some?
this.
You don't have to pay for it. I don't want and don't need it.
Yes, okay. Why did you do that?
I don't want you calling government people and telling them all sorts of things about me. That's the FBI. Don't answer.
Yes?
Yeah, I just went now because I need to quit here. So you see there are different problems. The voice not 100% decloning. It's stretching the voice because what we did, it's completely automatically generated, and we were shorter in the English than in the German, so it had a gap. And this is what needs to rework. And this is why I say you need to work in human QC. You need to work together to get a very good caption in the different language to make it better possible. This is no external solution. Like I said, this is our own developed solution. So if you're interested for some collaboration, partnering, we are here at the booth, and I'm happy to have some chat with you. Thank you very much.